I'm going to show you how to get perfect beach waves in your thin, fine hair using a wand. The first step to creating your beach waves is to make sure that your hair is thoroughly brushed. You want to make sure that you don't have tangles anywhere, because tangles are just going to make your curls not come out smooth and nicely. Then we're also going to make sure we have a heat protectant. This is Firewall by AG. I love using this one on dry hair because it doesn't go on wet and it creates a ton of barrier between the heat and your hair so that you're not going to fry your hair. And it also has shine, so your hair ends up looking really shiny and pretty afterwards and not dull, which can happen sometimes when we heat style. Get yourself a good clip. These are called gator clips. I really love these. You can usually find them honestly anywhere that sells hair accessories. This little spring loaded and these teeth just make it so good at holding honestly any amount of hair. Doesn't matter how slippery your hair is, these are going to stay in. So gator clips are my favorite, but honestly anything that's going to keep your hair up and out of your way while you create sections is what you want. So we're going to start with a bottom section. You don't want to create sections that are too big or too small. We're not going for a super curly look, so we can get away with slightly bigger sections because we don't mind taking bigger sections to curl. So we're just going to do a bottom section, which is honestly from about the top of my ears down. To create our beach waves today, we are going to be using a wand. This is about a 3/4 of an inch wand. It is titanium. You can use ceramic, titanium, tourmaline, all of them, honestly, I think work really well. 3/4 of an inch is my preference for my length of hair. If your hair is significantly longer, you may prefer an inch or an 1.25 inches even, but for shorter hair, I prefer something on the little bit smaller side. Not tiny, but 3/4 of an inch I find is perfect for my hair. So we're going to take sections that are probably on the bigger side, not huge, but as you can see, this is not a tiny section. And I'm just going to put the wand up against the section of hair and then wrap the hair as flat as possible around the section. And I'm going to leave about 1 inch of the ends off. We'll just hold that for a few seconds, not too long, because again, we're going for a loose, beachy look. We're not going for a ringlety look. So you really want to try and make sure you keep the sections flat and you don't wrap the hair around in a twisted motion, because that will create a very different shaped curl. If you've kind of done this with the hair and then wrap it like that, that's going to create a completely different look of a curl. Still very pretty, but not what we're doing today. So you hold it up against the wand and then wrap it around like a ribbon and leave those ends out. I just pull everything from the back over my shoulders and just grab whatever sections I see that are still straight. And then I usually ask one of my kids or my husband once I'm finished to pull out any straight pieces that I've missed, if there are any, and I just really quickly give those a once over. So then you're literally just going to repeat that for every section that you bring down. When it comes to the pieces around your face, it's completely up to you if you curl towards your face or away from your face. My preference for the beachy look is to curl away from my face, but honestly, there's no wrong answer. It just gives you a totally different look either way. I do like to alternate the direction that I wrap the curls around in. It doesn't have to be exact. You don't have to do one way and one the other way. Sometimes on a certain part of your head, just grabbing the hair in a certain direction is easier. And if it's easier, then just do that. But I do try and alternate and just not curl everything in the exact same direction, because again, curling all of your hair in the same direction can look very pretty, but it will give you more of a Hollywood wave as opposed to a beachy wave. So trying to alternate the direction of your curls is something that I would try and do. Once you get really comfortable with the process of curling your hair, something that I find helps to create the right shape for a beach wave is to make sure that when you're holding your curls, you're holding your wand vertically, either upways or downways, as opposed to horizontally. So vertically or on a 45-degree angle, it just helps create a more elongated shape to the curl, which is what you're looking for when you're looking for that sort of beachy shape as opposed to a more ringlety curly shape. But when you're starting out, it can be hard to control things, and sometimes holding the tool one way versus another can be easier. And honestly, if the only thing you can do is hold it horizontally when you get started, that's totally fine, and you should do whatever works for you. The holding it vertically is just a little added tidbit that you can try out once you get a little better at manipulating your hair and using your wand. Keep in mind also that this is a wand and not a curling iron, and if you are using a curling iron, you're going to use a completely different method to do this. So this tutorial really is just for a curling wand. Any size of curling wand you can do this with. The size is just really going to have an impact on the shape of your curl, how tight or how loose your curl is. The bigger the wand, the looser the curl, the smaller the wand, the tighter the curl. But a curling iron with a clamp is going to use a different technique than the wand itself. And you can get heat gloves with these. Most of these actually come with a glove to protect your hands, because when you're not good at using them, you are susceptible to burning your hands. I don't burn myself very often anymore, and I generally don't bother, especially with my long nails. It's really not hard for me to keep my fingers away from the barrel, but when you're learning, I do advise using one of those heat gloves so that you can save yourself some painful burns. Now we get to the top section, and if you have a little bit of a bang fringe like me, people always ask, what do I do with that? Honestly, don't overthink it. Just curl it like the rest of any pieces around your face. You don't have to do anything special just because they're fringe pieces. I just take a small flat section like I did for everything else and wrap it around, leaving the ends out a little bit, and just let it go, just like everything else. I do like to hold the wand quite close to my scalp. If you leave a lot of space between your scalp and the wand, you're gonna have a flatter shape at the top of your head. And because my hair is quite flat on its own, I like to curl quite close to my scalp. Just helps create more volume. But again, that's a personal preference call, and it's totally up to you. A lot of times people with longer hair like it to be a bit more straight at the top and have more of the volume towards the bottom of their hair. But it is your call, and there is no wrong answer. It is whatever you like. I simply like to have a little bit of added volume towards the top of my head. So once you're done, you're just gonna leave your curls totally like this without touching them at all until it's completely dry. So when you're done, you're gonna leave your curls just like they came out of the wand. You're not gonna touch them at all until your hair is completely cool to the touch everywhere. You don't wanna feel any heat coming off your hair still before you touch those curls and pull them all out. So now that it's all cooled down, you're just gonna rake your fingers through your hair, pulling out the curls and giving everything a shake. I like to use my fingers or a wide tooth comb because that is going to help everything stay piecey and not get too fluffy. If you brush it, you do have the risk of making your hair fluffy and frizzy. So using your fingers or a comb is ideal in my opinion. And there we go. That's how I get my beachy, wavy hair. Bye guys.